Hi there, and welcome back after quite some time of absence from the world of YouTube and the world of tutorials. But finally, I'm back and I have a bit of time today on this nice Sunday. It's very sunny outside, and I was getting a bit of inspiration, so I was thinking to build something in SolidWorks again. This time a little bit different than what I've built until now, and I was thinking that it would be very useful to get something new, something interesting, an interesting project. I usually don't try to build cars or stuff like that because I consider the subject a little bit boring to me. But sci-fi, oh yeah, definitely. I love sci-fi, and I was playing a little bit with Midjourney again with artificial intelligence kind of design, and I stumbled upon this interesting vehicle and an exploration vehicle, and I was thinking that it would be such a cool idea to build it in SolidWorks from scratch. So I have only one sketch. This is the only sketch that I have. No references, nothing from the side view or top view or anything like that to guide us through. But I think it would be enough to make our project, and it would be enough to build something cool. Um, right, so I'm not going to build everything from it. Because first of all, I'm not sure who on an exploratory vehicle would put pipes outside of the vehicle. So definitely, pipes will disappear from view, and I don't like the idea of having so many visible parts, simply because I just don't find them appealing. But secondly, it will also require for every single thing that is in here to be done, and I wouldn't choose necessarily SolidWorks to do that. I would probably choose something like 3ds Max or Modo for kit bashing, really. But I'm not going to try to replicate everything that is in this image, but I will, however, try to replicate most of the vehicle, and wherever we see stuff that are visible, like underneath the vehicle, we will build some cool shapes so that we can hide them up and still to make sense out of it. Right, so given that we are in the beginning, let's go into SolidWorks and start building this little monster. So we are here in the beginning. I would say, okay, let's build a new assembly because I suspect it will be something that will require more than one part. So we are into the assembly. I would want to introduce a new part. Okay. Let me see why I don't see anything around here. Because I'm not probably, yeah, yeah, I'm coming back to SolidWorks for quite some time, so not expect it will take me a bit of time to readjust. All right, so new assembly, let's give it a name. How can I rename it? I should be able to rename it, isn't it? Rename title. Yes, so let's call it as a project. All right, so I'm a big fan of sci-fi, so I will say that this is Prometheus. Yeah, just like the movie, just like the Alien movies, isn't it? Right, so part one assembly, I would say that in part one, I am going to try to make the dimensions and the rough, yeah, the rough dimensions of the vehicle plus the sketch. Right, so let's rename this and let's say blueprint. All right, so let's create a blueprint in here, and I think we can make this visible, and let's see. I don't want to apply any scene or anything like that. Okay, for some reason they are not visible anymore. I will remember at some point. Yeah, there you go. It did finally work to click on that. So view planes, yep. Front, right plane, top. Okay, let's try right plane. Let's introduce a sketch. So if you have you have started a sketch within the content, okay, rather than in a part. Ah, yes, indeed. Let's not build a sketch in here. SolidWorks is right, so I need to activate the part. Good. Right plane. No, I don't want that. Not view mates, okay. And if you remember, in the past I was saying that SolidWorks is not really capable um, of inserting blueprints just like that. So you need to make a sketch, and you have to, inside that sketch, insert the picture. And if I remember correctly, it should be somewhere into insert, no, tools. Yeah, tools. Okay, sketch tools, sketch picture. Finally, let's see. I think it was on D. Yeah, design and high resolution. Right. Okay. So this is our sketch. Now we should dimension this. Okay, I will click OK in here. We let SolidWorks to think a little bit about it. Okay. And I will just draw a rectangle somewhere. Yeah, let's start from origin and let's try to give it some dimensions. Okay. So let's see, smart dimension. Okay, fine, smart dimension. So how big this should be. Now in the past I was avoiding making this everything that was constructed very, very big so that I don't stress about, writing 1000 something millimeters for a fillet that is um, 1 meter. Yeah, but this time I want to experiment a little bit to see if the object being closer to the real size, it will add a little bit more details onto the surfaces. So let's see. So right now we are at 2000 millimeters. So that would make it somewhere around 2.3 meters. So I want for this to be really, really big. So if we look at the wheels, and if we say the wheels would be like 3 meters high, so almost like, yeah, 3 meters high, so it would be double the wheels in height, so 6 meters. And let's say how many wheels are in here, like 9, then 12, 1, 2, 3, three wheels, like 9 meters. Okay, so let's try initially 9000 millimeters. Yeah, so it will be like 9 meters. Okay. Yes, because it will rescale the picture in there. Okay, and if the wheels are like that, 3 plus 3 and something, 6, let's say 7 meters. Okay, so 7000 meters, millimeters. Okay, so it's not, I don't, I don't like that is very close to a square. So I would say Let's try 6,000. Okay, something like that. Now, let's see if I can maybe hide this and get to the picture. Okay, so now if I'm rescaling the picture, I don't need a lot. I just need to be close to the dimensions, close to whatever I have in reality, just to make sure that after I'm building this thing, I'm not going to be forced to readjust or rescale or anything like that simply because it is way too small, something like that. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be more than this. All right, so that would be the picture. Yeah, I'm going to delete the rectangle because I don't really need it anymore, really. Yes. Do I have any other lines around? Yes, I do. Okay, and I will remain just with the picture. Okay, so this is our picture right now. I will just put it in here just to use it as a referential, just to not keep switching between screens or anything like that. So that will be the blueprint. Okay, so now let me get out of this part, and I should be able to okay, let me introduce a new part. Okay, I will say let's make the wheels first. Ah, because I was already editing the part. Rename part wheels. Okay, so let's make first the wheels. Before that, I'm going to hide all my planes in here. Okay, and I was on the right plane, so I'm going in here. Again, I am in the assembly. I forgot to activate the part. There. Well, that's a good reminder in there from SolidWorks. That's a nice thing to have, especially when you come back after a long time in SolidWorks. So I'm not going to try to adjust all my views so that it looks from the right plane or anything like that closer to the picture. I'm going to have it in the background mainly as a referential and just to keep looking at it while I'm constructing things. I also forgot to mention that the goal of this, all of this and all the videos that are coming after would be to really use the object to have a mix between constructing automotive type of nice surfaces and engineering type of surfaces. Will be a mix because this exploratory vehicle, it does provide a nice opportunity to do that. So most of the white part of the vehicle will be constructed with having in mind the idea of using SolidWorks as a replacement for software such as Alias, and the stuff that are at the bottom more to use SolidWorks to show how to construct engineering type of objects. And yeah, it would be really nice because SolidWorks is, well, it's done for engineering, so it would be a really nice opportunity. Right, so we are in the right plane. I think I'm already in the sketch. Yes, I am in the sketch. So let's build the wheels. So we are here with the wheels. So I'm building something around here. I don't need to construct really a lot at this moment in time. I just need, I just need the wheels to, well, this sketch, yeah, sketch and the wheels has a rough idea of how it is, so that they can help me build the vehicle, the main shape of it afterwards. Yeah. So okay, so it does work to drag from them. That's good. So let's extrude this. All right, so I'm building everything along the x-axis. So okay, I don't want surfaces. I want directly solids. So where do I have solids in here? Do I have solids? Yeah, extruded boss. They're called. Okay, interesting. Okay, so let's build this. I want two directions, and I will want, okay, so not direction two, but however, I want it with an offset so that I can, yeah, so that I can offset the stuff. Okay, but of course, so the offset, I will want it at, so if this is, let's think a bit. So this, if this is 3 meters, the wheel will be probably 1 meter. So that means we have, I would say, let's say 1, 2, 3. So 3 meters in between them. Yeah. So if I make an offset at 1.5 meters, it should be just right. Initially, it's a lot of approximation. So we keep the stuff mainly unlocked for a long time until we will actually start to readjust things around. Yeah, so it's not going to be precise science for a very long time. Now, the back wheel seems smaller, but usually they aren't. It's just a camera distortion. So I will create, can I maybe move it instead? I think it will be better to move it initially instead of creating a sketch. All right, so let's see if we can just move this instead of making another sketch. Let's see, mirror. Do I have anything for moving things in here? Linear pattern, mirror. Interesting. I should have indirect editing, isn't it? Yes, good. So I'm having move. I want to move this body. Let's see. Do I have an axis or anything like that? That's a bit weird. I think I remember that if I was selecting it, yes. Oh yeah, so selecting it, I can just move it around. If I press maybe Control or maybe Alt. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let me edit this because I did press Control Z. Okay, we will see a way to move it. I remember that there was a way to move it. All right, so it was at 1 meter and it was with an offset of 1.5 meters. All right. So I think with linear pattern, I remember that I could just move things, but move copy bodies. That should work. Move copy bodies, isn't it? Or linear pattern. Let's try linear pattern this time. Yeah, because it will allow me to choose a direction. Okay. Can I choose the direction in here? No, I cannot choose a direction in there. Well, that's a shame. All right. So then let's choose front plane as a direction. No, not two directions. And the feature is that's good. Okay. Okay, so I have nothing to drag around. Okay, I don't like that option. So I will just create another sketch rather than keep playing around with it. I don't even remember how big the other circle was. So, right. So let's see. We'll just go back into this sketch. Would be a good idea to put a dimension in here. Come on. Let's see. So we said 3 meters. Let's edit this one as well. Now, interesting. I could choose in here radius. But I do want to just put it in here. Okay. So 3 meters. Okay. Can I choose this and this and say concentric? Yes, but I don't want that. If I choose coincident, it will be like that. So I need to create a line. Yeah, let's create a line. That would be a construction line. Which one was? Yes, this one was construction geometry. Let's put these ones in here. Smart dimension. Okay. I remember I could choose to just be, there you go. Yeah. All right, so we said 2 wheels apart from each other. So if I am looking roughly, that's not 2 wheels apart. So I will move a bit more. All right, so this would be roughly where my wheels are. Okay, so let's go to features, extrusion. Okay, not from sketch, offset at 1.5 meters. Good. So this would be my wheels now. All right, so let's try to go into our main object. All right, so, and before that, I think it will be good if I would just save it. Yeah, let's rebuild it and save this whole thing. Save all. Okay. Save all to this PC. Let's go in design, Prometheus. And yeah, let's save it in here. Let's say save it in context references. Okay. All right, so now let's add a new part, and okay, and I would say let's rename this into main body. Main body. And let's start constructing this thing. For some reason, okay, so how can I close this there? And can I do something to not have all this in here? Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, so the lines are not looking, the shutting lines are not looking brilliant, but it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do, yeah, so shall we start from from the side view and see and try to block the shape in space. And again, I started it into the assembly. I start to forget Solidworks. That's not nice. Right plane. So how is this thing? So it goes slightly in front of the wheel. So initially I'm going to just create some lines around again, just to make sure that I'm locking the main shape in space. Not very precise, but just to give me an idea. After that, I'm going to extrude this. And after I'm extruding it, I will start adjusting things around to see if they make sense. Alright, so it goes, say this goes somewhere around the middle, and then it's just tapering towards the middle of the wheel, somewhere around here, right? And then it goes behind the wheel, of course, something like that. And like this. Right, so let's see. The height is definitely somewhere around here. This taper is, yeah, this is going way closer to the wheel. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, so something like this. Let's extrude this. So initially, we just want to make sure that proportions are more or less okay. And then once we get that, we can start to build the main shapes around. Alright, so obviously 1.5 meters, and I want in both directions. Alright, and now what I do want is for that sketch to be a little bit semi-transparent. Let me see, can I adjust this? Can I maybe do something with the appearance of this? Right, so for some reason this 3D experiences keep popping up. Because it's on auto show, yeah? Good. Okay, so let's see, can we do anything about this picture to look different. Feature properties, transparency. Okay, 0.5. Yeah. All right, so we can adjust the transparency. That's nice. That's nice. Control B to rebuild it. Okay, so this is our lovely vehicle as it looks right now. Obviously, it's a lot to do for making it right. I will try to see if I can make this slightly transparent. No, I think I need to go into adjusting materials. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to go there and try to do that. Right, so let's try to have it as a perspective view so that we see if it looks much like in the image. I'm thinking that maybe I should put this sketch further away. Can I move the sketch itself? Yes. No, only in that plane. That's not nice. Let's see. Maybe if I make a plane parallel to that. Flip offset. No, that's going to do that. So 3 meters. Okay. Is the sketch? Can I edit sketch plane? Yes. That's nice. So let's try to put it on this plane. And now it doesn't let me, it's not letting me moving it. Let's see. How can I move it? Maybe if I'm moving it before the sketch, it will let me move it. Yes, and it did. That's good. All right. So that's nice. Now, what I do need is to make a symmetry of those wheels. So that I see it nicely. Mirror plane. I want to make sure that I am selecting the plane from the wheels. Okay, so I'm having features. I want them both. And these join bodies. And what? I don't mind. Okay, full preview, propagate visuals. Because it's features. Right, so clear selections, bodies to mirror. Yeah, there you go. It should work now. Good. All right, so first impressions. Yeah, first impression is that I do need this plane moved more so that I can clearly see the image plus our lovely vehicle in here. I am in perspective, so that's good. Let's see, first impressions. Well, it's a bit taller than I think it should be. These wheels seems quite skinny, so definitely I don't want them to be like that, so I will want to be a bit better. So I'm going to modify the wheels in here. How much did I say? What is written here? 1 meter, yeah, so I think 1.5 meters. It might be a bit better. Yet it's not 1.5 meters. It would be exaggerated, so it would be probably 1.3 meters. Yeah, 1.3 meters looks better. Now I will apply the same in here. Good. Now let's see. Again, I will want this plane even more pushed away because I want to see the whole vehicle plus the wheels behind. Okay, so how is it? Oops. Is it smaller wheel? It does look like it is smaller, isn't it? So do we want to have smaller wheel behind? I think it will make it more interesting. So let's build this wheel. Let's make it smaller, just so that it will be more in tune with what we see in there. So 3000, I would say 2500, so 2.5 meters. But obviously it will have to stay on the ground. So I'm going to modify the sketch. Yeah, so I will not want, okay, so I'm seeing everything in perspective, isn't it? Can I not see in perspective anymore? Good. So I don't want it to be aligned with that. I will want to be aligned with this. Okay. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Yeah, I think it's fine. That's it, good. Now let's see again. Yeah, so half of meter smaller, and it's all right in this way. All right, so that's that. Now it does look like very, it's quite narrow. I don't like the idea that it's so narrow, so I'm going to modify this, and we said 1500. How about 1.7 meters and 1.7 meters? Let's see now. Yeah, so now it looks a bit better. Ah, let's, oopsie, not cartoon. In perspective and not cartoon. All right. Yeah, so something like this is much, much better. So that will define our main dimensions. Just trying to, okay, so I'm going to switch in between these views. I'm just looking here at the back to see if it's more towards the back or not. Just looking a bit, yeah. So it should be more towards the back, and this, it should be more like that. Right, so something like this. Yeah, something like that. All right, so these are more or less the dimensions. Yeah, so I'm just checking the time around here. All right, already 40 minutes past. Yeah, time flies. Okay, so this being the dimensions, we can finally start to dig into the main kind of shapes. And I was thinking to have a different approach from what it was in the past. So again, more or close to, let's say, alias, in which we build patches of surfaces and then we curve them up or emboss them or whatever, adjust their curvatures so that we don't have perfectly flat surfaces. Nothing is perfectly flat, so I don't see why we should have perfectly flat surfaces. So, and I will try to avoid that. So most of the time, um, well, people, I suspect, generally speaking, they will just make flat surfaces, but our goal is to more like try to have things done for design, not for engineering, or at least for the white body that we have in there. So I will try to have the approach of creating the surfaces as big patches first and then adjust them. You will see. I hope it will be interesting. Um, so I just realized that I want this picture to be just a little bit more visible. Can I again adjust the picture? I remember I was adjusting the picture. So let's see how I was again adjusting the picture. I think I was in the main assembly when I was feature properties, yes. Okay, something like that. I want to see a bit more. Okay. Right, so let's make a new part. So we said in here, this would be, we said main body. Okay, so not main body, let's say, let's rename this as blocks, main blocks. And this one, let's call it main body. Okay, now let's activate this. And now I'm having a wireframe around to guide me, which is really, really useful. Okay, so with what we said before, then, okay, let's dig into it. So I will use surfaces mainly for building everything. Let's go to the right plane. Let's make a sketch. Okay, so we are here. Well, the top really shouldn't be a very big deal to make, but again, I don't want it perfectly flat. So I will just get the curve and I will want it just slightly curved, not too much, just a tiny bit. All right. Since I can have that already, so I'm going to use it to, there you go. I was having extrude in the beginning. All right, so let's create this surface in here. So this would be the top. Now let's go again to the right plane. Let's make this front surface in here. So until here will be quite simple. These surfaces will be very simple. Things will get more complicated towards this area in here. By the way, I don't have anything planned previously, so whatever you see is first time see. If I do mistakes, I do mistakes. If I will have to redo things because I realize that they don't match or anything like that, that's it. It's not done 10 times before and then recorded or cut in different pieces for the movie and record and all that. Right, so right now I'm not even sure what is the, if, I mean, I follow my own process of building surfaces and stuff, but it doesn't mean this would be the best way. But let's go along and see how it goes. Right, so I'm having this in here. I'm creating this. Okay, so let's continue and go surface by surface because I know I will have them. I will modify them later on. Anyway, so again, yeah, I'm trying to avoid gluing to the stuff that I've done previously. Okay. So another surface in here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I'm building those. And the one at the bottom. I could make them all at once, but because I want to create patches and adjust their curvature after, I want to have them separate. Okay, fine. I will put a coincidence in there and I think I can just delete it afterwards anyway. All right. So those are the surfaces in there. Now, what do we want? Yeah. So that's that. Okay, so what we want now would be to curve them up. So I'm going to freeform deform. Alright, so I will put in here curvature and just movable in here, movable in here, movable in here. And I will select these. Ah, I said movable, not movable tangent. Okay. So, and movable, yes. So I will select this, and this. And I will just move them down just slightly. Okay, so I think they were anyway too big, so maybe I should shorten them up. But anyway, yeah, I pressed Ctrl Z because I didn't like how it went. Alright, so how do I want? Yes, I want all these, but I want to move them using this thing. Oh, and SolidWorks is more responsive to this now. Wow, finally. That's really cool. In the past, it wasn't so responsive, and because of that, I was using the other side of the compass. Okay, so I will keep it in there, but I will go to the initial thing and I will just adjust the surface length because I don't like the how those surfaces weren't in there. By the way, adjusting the freeform does retain the adjustments that were done previously, so you could easily modify the surfaces, and it will retain the way that they were adjusted. So that's very useful thing to have. Now, do I want for this to, there you go, it starts to be less responsive in there. Not nice. But still. Right. So, do I want them like that in the end? Maybe I don't. Do I want to have a slight curvature in there? Let's see. It's not too much. Yeah, I do. Let's follow the plan. But what I don't want to have, yeah, I don't want them to be so short. So I am going to just move these handles somewhere around here so that it fades away a bit better. By the way, let's modify the image quality to the maximum. Okay, so how about just a tiny bit less? And how about I put them in tangency? I don't want to see anything like a seam line afterwards, so I will keep them there. I'm fine with how it is. I don't want them to be really, but there is a thing I can see in here. So these ones in here, I think they were too much. Anyway, we can adjust them a little bit later. All right, so that's that. Let's do something similar for this one. So here, I want them like that, movable, movable, and movable. Oh, oopsie, and I forgot to adjust the length for them. So let's adjust the length a bit. And I forgot to make the extrude of that one. Okay, so now it's good. I want to be after the freeform. Good. Now let's do the freeform. So again, and movable. All right. So, oh, that's nice. It's already normal to the surface, so that's really nice. So I will want, of course, not a curve like that. Right, so control going back is removing the selection, but fine. So how much do I want? Just a tiny bit. And how do I want these to be? Just a tiny bit. And how do I want these to be? Again, just a bit. All right, so something like that. So I'm going to do the same thing for for all of them. Doesn't matter much initially how good it is because it's non-destructive, yeah, so we can always return and adjust things. But the idea why I'm doing this is so that you can see afterwards how easy it is to adjust everything, and when it comes to more complex surfaces, this will this will be really, really critical, important to know, because making the patches and then adjusting things like this on those patches, on those surfaces, and being non-destructive and having them recorded basically so that when you modify the input surface, the initial surface, you will be able to actually be to actually modify things around. That's very, very valuable thing to have. Right, so that's that. So now we can either make the whole object up to here, but then cut this bit out of it and build this, or going from inboard towards outboard. What would be the best thing to do? I think cutting from it would be better than, yeah, I think cutting from it would be better. Right. So that means that I'm going to build it with this around and then cutting it out. I think will be the best. But that means that I will have to build it. I will see. Anyway, until then, we have these two in here that will require a fillet, a big fillet. So let's do that. I think I can just apply surface filleting really. I forgot, was it in surface? I think I could select this one directly. No, I have it in here. Okay, surface to surface. So this surface to this, with this surface both inboard. How much? It's a big object, so 200 millimeters, maybe? No. So it's clearly around 800. Okay. So 800 millimeters. That's all right. And the same in there. So this with this. Do I want the same? For now, yes. Let's say it's fine. I don't quite see reflections. I don't quite see very well what's going on here. So maybe I can select a different kind of, yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so you see the way that it does reflect in here. I think it should be a bit more curved. So which one is it? It is this one in here. There you go. So I curved it that way. Ah, yes, I had the sketch as an input for its curvature. So I can go in here. Ah, yeah. And I think I will be able to see the sketch directly. Is it? If I unhide it, good. So I'm having this point in here for the sketch. So I'm going to adjust it slightly in there and press Ctrl B to adjust the sketch there. So let's see. Okay. Does look weird with those reflections, so maybe I can evaluate it by using this. Well, yeah. Okay. Don't see much of a problem anyway. They should be flat surfaces, so just having a bit extra than flat is already a gain. Okay, so that's that. Right, so we were saying constructing the model from uh, totally outboard and then cutting out of it. So if we look in here, we have this kind of chamfer thing in here, and then yeah, this sketch done by AI is not necessarily I do all, but I didn't make a step in here. No, I'm fine. I don't want the step, but I want this in here. So yeah, let's make the whole thing up to here and up to there. Yes. Okay. So how can we build it that way? Let's see. I could use chamfer, but I don't want to use chamfer. So I need it anyway. I need it only up to here. And then I'm having anyway a fillet in here. So maybe I could build already that fillet just to start from somewhere. Yeah, let's do it like that. So let's add another fillet. Between this and this. Okay, reverse. Okay, and I would say 100 this time. Has to be tiny, but I don't want to be invisible. So let me see. Okay. Okay, so okay, so that's that. So now if I'm making this surface in here, I will have directly a sharp edge in here. But then, okay. Right. Okay. So if I am building, starting from these selections in here, something across like that will give me the right surface. Okay. Or it could be the other way around. Right, so it's a little bit difficult now to see how. So I would try to use all this geometry in here later on. Right, let's build the, the side surface. So this buggy thing is quite straight, so that means we can use the front plane. And how do I want this to be? So again, slightly curved. Somewhere around there. That's fine. Something like that. Okay, let's extrude this the other way around. Somewhere around here. Okay, so I'm having it like that. And that would be my, well, kind of top surface. Maybe not. I will see about that. And now I don't want to immediately close it off. I do want to think about it. Okay, so I could make an offset of all these surfaces around. Yeah, and I could use them. Okay. For now, this is completely straight. I don't want it completely straight. I mean, not completely straight, but I think you understand. So curvature and curvature in these areas, but I want it free in here. Actually, yeah, let's put them all in movable. Yeah. Okay, so I want these two. I want them. So 100 millimeters, something like 90 millimeters. Okay, that's fine. So 90 millimeters and okay, so it's not quite 90 in there. Zooming in just a bit. 90 then, fine. I keep them like that. There you go. Now, so what I'm trying to do, the plan is to make a sketch on the surface, use the sketch to create the swept surface around here. Not sure at the back how it is. Maybe I should build it at the back as well, but we will see about it. I'm just looking at the time. We are almost 1 hour in here, so I'm not going to build it at the back right now, so maybe next time, but at least you can see then how I create this kind of chamfer. So that, so I want the surface to be again fully customizable. Yeah, so it's not going to be a simple chamfer. The reflections are not very nice when we do that. So I want something a bit more customizable than that. Yeah, okay. So 3D sketch. I remember I could project things in a 3D sketch, if I remember correctly. So can I use this to do it? Yeah, intersection curve. This two, is it going to make it? Yes, it does. That's good, because we do need it. Okay, so between these two surfaces, intersection curves, and in this way, we have this and this. Okay, so now I will want to make an offset on surface of this one. Can I do it? I can only if I cut. So so it's not helping me a lot, but I can always make an offset. So even if I do this, I can make an offset afterwards. Yeah, let's do it like that. I think it's a lot more simple. So then I'm going to extrude only this one against an axis, against the right plane, but at an angle. And in the other direction, actually, I want it in this direction. How much do I want? 45 degrees. Can I choose the other way around? Yes, that's good. Okay. So I keep this at 45 degrees. Now, what I do want to do, and I will name this, not feature 5, or actually, you know what, let's keep it as feature 5, fine. 1. I just want to hide it. Why I cannot hide it? Feature 6. Oh, okay, that's a bit weird. I should be able to hide this. Ah, there you go. That's the sign. There. So I will want to extend this surface and then again adjust with the freeform. So I should be able, it should let me adjust it with freeform, but only if I'm keeping as the same surface, because that would be the equivalent of being in curvature as a thing from Katya. So So that's that. I will, however, want to have it offsetted from the main. Yeah, so I do want to have an offset of this by 200 millimeters, maybe in the other direction. Okay. Okay, and I will hide surface 5. Yeah, I can see that I need to extend it more than that. Good. And now I will want to apply the freeform. And of course it works because being completely in curvature when it was extended, it will allow me to adjust it, or it should. Completely movable. Why? So that's movable. That should be completely movable, but okay. Okay. So it will allow me those, but not in the other direction. That's fine. We can always introduce another line in there. So this and this, these two, how much? 14, 23 millimeters. That's fine. 23, something like that. Okay. So good. Now let's introduce add points, no, add curves. I want to be on the other way, flip direction, so somewhere here in the middle. Okay. I don't want to add more points. Okay. I just want these. There you go. Yeah, it's not letting me adjust the surface in there. It keeps it does keep it in contact. Okay, I wonder if it is simply because I have extended it. So if I wouldn't extend the surface, would it let me adjust it? Let's see. It should let me adjust it, or maybe because it's an offset. So for some reasons, the boundary may be too complex. Okay. Let's see. So I've made the extrude, which is coming from a curved surface, but it's a simple extrude. Why wouldn't you accept freeform? He's saying that is too complex. Okay, so it is too complex when it's like that, but then if I'm adjusting it after I'm extending it, yeah, I will have only as contact. Okay, that's not nice, because that means I can adjust only parts of it. Okay, so let's see, what options do we have? I mean, I could leave it there, but I just don't want to do that. for example, can I use something else instead? I could create a plane in here, make a sketch and all that, but it starts to be too much of a hassle for such a surface, really. Okay, I don't want to give up on it, on the idea. It's just okay. Let's use deform as it is and try to get. Yeah, but if I cannot snap to geometry, I don't want to snap to geometry. Maybe no, it's not going to allow me to do anything. Huh. Yeah, so basically it's not letting me moving the edges. Alright, so what can we do if it's not letting us moving the edges? Maybe I can make an offset in 0 and force it in this way. Let's try it out. No, it's not going to let me, of course. Well, worth the try. So then, if I'm introducing a plane in there, not sure if I want to go through the whole pane just to make this. Okay, well, you know what? Let's try a different way. Yes to all. So I'm having this. He's saying that is too complex. So let's reduce the size of it first. And after reducing the size, it is still considering too complex. So then maybe the angle, how about 35 as an angle to make it a little bit more straight, and we can adjust it afterwards. Nope, the same problem. Okay. So then, okay, well, there are solutions. So I can use it as an offset, create a patch, and then only towards the end. Yeah, okay. Let's like that. I will create towards the end what I want to do. So for now, I will just use it to cut other surfaces. Right, so let's extend this. No, not the whole thing. Just the edge. Yes. Okay, so that was one. Where is the other sketch? I have the sketch in here, so let's do the other thing. Oh, hold on. This is just the extrude. Ah, yes. I will have to make an offset afterwards. Okay, so let's do the extrude of this. plane, right plane, taper 45 degrees. Okay, that's good. And that's it. And now let me hide this one, extend it, and oops, no, not extrude, extend it, and I will need to make an offset as well. Right, so we're trying to build this, but I want to have curvature in both directions. It didn't let me do it properly initially, that's fine. We will force it in a different way. So now, since I'm having this, yeah, let's make the offset. Oh, okay, clear selections. So I want this. We said 300 millimeters, I think. Yeah. Let's hide it. Okay. I need to extend it more then. Yeah. Okay. And as well this 300, but in the opposite direction. And of course I need to extend it more. There you go. Okay. So that would give me these surfaces in here. Of course, after I'm making the after I'm making the offsets, it's not going to look quite the same. That's fine. We will figure out later on how to deal with that. So let's see, what do we have? So we have it like that. They are meeting there in the middle. It doesn't look quite like 45 degrees, but anyway, we will figure that out. Okay. And now we have the other surface. I think it was number 5. Yeah. So how do I want then? So I could use surface 5 to cut those surfaces in there. Where was the cut in the past? Ah, trim, yes, trim. So I want this surface, trim, not mutual. Okay, then trim tool. Trim tool is this, and I want to keep this one. Okay, fine. And again, trim tool, and I want to keep this one. And let's hide again surface number 5. Okay, so that's that. Now let's use the same thing, and I want to keep this surface, and again trim. So this is my trim tool, and I want to keep this surface. Now, I'm not sure if this one was having the same problem or not, but at least now I can try to freeform this one, having one single patch, and it's still not letting me move it. It's letting me move all the others except this one in here. Huh. Okay, so this means that we will have to redo the stuff. And I don't like this idea. Okay. Yeah, well, this is a difference between software that is designed or made for design and the one that is made for engineering, and we try to use it for design as well. It's not always giving you the best tools in the world, but still better than nothing. Right, so how could we then make this in a simple way? Let me see, already 1 hour and a half. of recording, so let's try to make this fast and finish for today. Let's see, is there any kind of tool in here that can help me force it? Hmm, Convert to mesh. That's definitely not something that we want to do. Yeah, I don't really see anything in here that can really help me doing it. So the only thing I can try to do would be either a 3D curve, for example, or literally a sketch into here. Hmm. Ah, yes, and I can see why. Despite is, yeah. So despite is extended from its initial extrude, is still divided into boundaries. And because we have two boundaries in here, this is what is causing the problem and why it's not letting us doing it. So can I maybe knit the surface or heel? Do I have like a heel kind of option? Or I can make 3D curves and rebuild it. So apart from knit surface, I don't really have anything like a heel. Let's try with knit surface, despite I know that it just saying that choose more than one surface. Yeah, so right, so one idea would be make a 3D sketch, convert the edges, for example. Yeah, so yeah, we could do like that. So this is one edge in here, and I think no, I will not be able to do it like that. So what I can do is simply create a straight patch using the surface corners, and the patch will be, well, planar, no curvature at all, but at least will allow me to create a surface that will be deformable. Yeah, so now I should be able to make this movable. Yes, awesome, all movable. Well, it took a while, but yeah. Can I select maybe? No, I cannot select on to be equal, so I will have to rely on the dimensions. So I'm having, yeah, 20 millimeters, and I will want 20 millimeters in here as well. Or around 20 millimeters. Yeah, so here, how much do I want? Still the same kind of 20, and the same in here. Okay, that's a bit too much, but fine. Okay, so now I'm having this. That's good. So now if I am looking onto the others, will it give me the same type of error in here? I hope not. Yeah, it does. Free from cannot deform the surface. La 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 la. Okay, fine. How can I convert? Shall I convert? 3D sketch. 3D sketch. Yeah, and this the same, exactly the same problem. So, well, it is how it is. So I'm going to get the boundary basically. Come on, it's surface 14, yeah? Yeah. Ah, I didn't realize. So I don't want the boundary, I just want the line. So I want it to be planar, so that I don't have any boundaries in there. I think I could literally heal curves, but cannot remember now, so I'm going to do it like this. Okay, so now let's deform this. Okay. Yeah, I should be fine with how much? I didn't see. I'm fine with 24. Okay. Maybe I don't want to be like that in there, but I wanted only one axis. But anyway, okay, cool. It's all for learning, it's not to make it easy. Right, so I'm having this. So this should be able to meet right there in the middle. So let's put them to meet. Going to continuously make fillets, and only where I believe that they don't look right, I will do blends. So I'll just extend these surfaces in here. Yeah, they should meet into a nice kind of 45 degrees line or whatever. So let's extend them here as well. Yeah, that looks good. So now I will just make a no, fillet between this surface and this surface. And I will keep the same value, 100, maybe 120. Yeah, something like that. All right, so now this means that all surfaces, including this kind of chamfer that we have in here, are done with curvature on them, which means that now if I want, for example, to have different kind of shapes. So if I'm going in here and I say, well, but I don't want this, I want to be more like this, while in here it is more like that. Yeah, I will be able to do all this and still retain the fillet that I have in there. So for example, if now I will go and select all these surfaces to make a fillet, and then these ones in here as well to make a fillet. 120 I think is fine. Of course it will say that it cannot because they are finishing in here, obviously. But it shouldn't be a problem afterwards. I'm curious now. If I'm making an offset of this just for the sake of explaining things, offset in 0, and I will just hide this one, the fillet free, and I will make a fillet just so that we can see that by modifying them and all that, it will work. Smoothly connected. Is it not smoothly connected? Really? Yeah, I think it's because of the fillet in here. So if I'm putting it at 50 as a fillet, of course I can see that here they are a little bit different, and I wouldn't make that like that. So I would choose something a little bit more, a little bit better. But anyway, just as a general idea, the difference is that now if I go into the, let's say this freeform, yeah, let's go into this freeform and I say, I don't know, I want this to be curved in the opposite direction. Yeah, it will be curved in the opposite direction while the other side of it will be curved in the other direction, and I will still have the fillets. Of course, it will looks a little bit silly. I will still have the fillets as I want, and I will still have the chamfer, and the surface reflection is really nice as well. So that is what we gain, and that's the reason why I like this way of building the surfaces, even if it is like a simple chamfer such as this, which you may argue is not a big deal, but still, even for that, if you want to have really good surfaces and to look really nice, even in any reflections, that's one way of building them nicely. Now, there is another thing that it may not necessarily be really nice the way it is now, which is the way that those um, reflections are in here and the way that they are transitioning. I don't necessarily see a big problem with them, but the thing is that, let me see, if I press delete, do I delete? No, it deletes only that. So if the problem is that, they look like that, then instead of making the fillet, you can always just delete the fillet. I should have a delete surface in here. I remember it was. Okay, surfaces. Yes, delete surface. It's the one with X. Where is the one with X? Ah, there you go. So I can delete the surface, yeah, and then you can go and after making the fillets, because the transitions are not necessarily the ones that you would expect to have, right? So you can make the transitions like this with the boundary surface. You flip the connectors and then you can select curvature and curvature, for example, or tangency or whatever, but very nice and very cool to have. It will be adjusting the curvature handles in here to to have even more fine tuning of this, which, by the way, this being a patch then combined with the freeform, you can still keep that in tangency in there, but then you can put this in movable. um, with this, I think you can leave it in contact, and then even more fine tuning. Ah, yes, curvature and curvature, of course. So if you put everything in curvature, even if this is movable, it's not going to happen anything. But if you introduce a curve, okay, let's see, one here and another one in here, yeah. then you should be able, by keeping this movable, yeah, you should be able, for example, to adjust even more everything that is in here. So you see, it still stays in, it should be curvature in here. You can still have the continuity in there, speaking about cars kind of type of surfaces, you can still have everything in curvature, but you can also update the surface locally with very kind of weird and complex type of profiles or surface, so that, and everything is non-destructible. So moving or modifying surfaces previously should, with some, within some limits, of course, should allow you to really adjust things around easily. So that's why I consider that building everything in, so that you can adjust them with the freeform afterwards is quite critical for using SolidWorks for design. Well, anyway, so that would be it for today, really. I'm already a little bit tired from so much talking. I hope it was really useful for you. It's not necessarily much in the beginning because it's a lot of talking around how to build the surfaces and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you stick with me, we are going to build this whole thing up to the end, and we will also render it. I will say I probably will not choose to use Twinmotion this time. Probably I will use Corona in combination with 3ds Max. But yeah, um, glad that you stick with me until here, and do leave me some feedback into the comments, or if you want to see something else in the next videos, do let me know in the comments. Thank you, and yeah, enjoy your day. Bye.